y'all, do you like our new tune? It's called Salty Sugar Sweet by John Worthy Music, which henceforth will be our new tune. Thanks to Pro Tribe of Noise, because as it turned out, going legit ain't easy or cheap. The song that I used in the episodes up until now, Emotional Mess by Amy Lynn and the Honeymen, love that song. I thought it was a beautiful, perfect fit for this podcast and what I was trying to do. However, as I discovered, even though I got the song years ago from the YouTube audio library where someone said I could get license-free songs to use, there's a little gray area in there that I only discovered as I so happened to launch the YouTube channel accompanying this podcast channel. So, surprise! Accompanying this podcast channel now, you can also find us on YouTube, where dropping comments is a lot easier. In the olden days, I tried to do it via Insta, but that's just not handy, as I learned. Well, you live and learn, right? You can just upload your podcast to YouTube without video, as in, I don't have to put my face on camera. And as of yet, I don't feel comfortable doing that. So, up until now, I didn't even think that was an option because I'm already sharing so much. Sometimes a little too much, I think, listening back on occasion. RSS even enables the option to upload the episodes directly to my YouTube channel, which is awesome, thank you. Also, that makes commenting on the episodes and starting a conversation so much easier than Instagram. So, my Instagram account will now just be me mainly just reposting other people's stuff that I find important and interesting. So, if you still want to get a feel for who I am and what I find interesting and what I think or feel about shit, you can still follow my Instagram account for that. However, to really talk about these episodes of Stargate and my review episodes, you can now drop a comment quite easily on my YouTube channel. I've now started to relaunch the old episodes, writing chapter titles, and the transcript is loaded in as subtitles. So, of course, it's a major pillar of this podcast that it will always remain accessible. So, there. Anywho, back to my point. I discovered that apparently the song that I got from the YouTube audio library that I thought I was allowed to use for my podcast episodes is, let's say, faulty. As it turned out, yes, some of the songs there are license free. However, of course, the song I got isn't. Even though it said, yes, you are allowed to use it on YouTube, you're not allowed to use it outside of YouTube, which, oopsie daisy, apparently I kind of, sort of did by using it for my podcast, which was spread out thanks to rss.com to all your streaming podcasting pleasures. So, oopsie daisy. I tried to research them to ask them permission to continue to use the song. However, I have not heard back from them as of yet. And they clearly stated that even though they are in the YouTube library, you still need to request permission to use the song. So, henceforth, I am not allowed to use the song, and therefore I will not, because placing credit where credit is due is very important to me. So, I have to go in search of a new song, and as it turns out, that ain't easy. I swear to God, I've spent hours, many, oh, so many hours trying to find a new song that kind of had the same vibe, sort of the same kind of lyrics that just beautifully matched what we were trying to do here. And unfortunately, I couldn't really find one that immediately spoke to me. But then I came across this instrumental track called Salty Sugar Sweet. And I thought, well, I know I can be a little salty sometimes, but I can also give you a shit ton of sugar. And I can be sweet, I try. And then I just start to think about other things that start with an S. Of course, duh, Stargate, hello. But also, someone once said, just, sidetrack, astrologically, the opposing signs, Taurus and Scorpio, they said that people expect a sissy Taurus, but if you have placements in Scorpio as well, you get a sassy Scorpio. And then when I read that, it made me chuckle, because that is very true. For I have placements in both, and yeah, people at first glance think that I am this soft, kind, quiet, and I am. I mean, hello, I am a Taurus ascendant, so it really is in there. But as soon as you get to know me, or as soon as I get a little bit comfortable, you will get that sassy Scorpio. So, I mean, you've noticed, right? If not, what have you been listening to? Anywho, that just kind of caught my eye, and then my ear. And then, thanks to Pro Tribe of Noise, I was able to buy it at a reasonable price. Thank you very much. Without bankrupting myself. Because Lord have mercy. Songs ain't cheap, people. Goodness me. That's, I get that artists need to be paid for their job. The things that they create. Because it is a skill that not a lot of people have. And you should be paid your worth. I fully agree. However, when you independently, completely solo, try to launch something, you kind of need a little of something that may not be your forte. So, thank you. I will be using this song henceforth, forthwith, whatever. And I also upgraded my profile picture and the episode art. I still, unfortunately, have not gotten permission or am allowed to use, as far as I'm aware, any of the photos of the Stargate episodes. Unfortunately, Amazon will not get back to me. However, oh my god, did y'all hear? And I think you will. But in case you haven't, was the best November birthday present ever. It was announced that Amazon will be starting this year, thank you very much, a new Stargate show. Like a genuine new TV show about Stargate. And they've been talking about it on and off for years, and with all the other reboot experiences, I'm skeptical. However, what seems to have made the difference as the people that are now relaunching Stargate with Amazon are the people that have worked on Stargate SG-1 for years and Stargate Atlantis. So they are the people that have lived in the Stargate universe, that have helped create the Stargate universe. So, like I said, cautiously optimistic, right? Maybe even slightly hopeful that we will actually like it. Since then, I've seen some interviews with some of the cast via Dial the Gate. Thank you, David Heard, I think. Sorry if I got that wrong. That they too are quite hopeful and interested and open to cameos as long as it does the story justice. And I mean, a lot of what they were saying, what they hope that it'll bring, are the things that I have said that I really love about this show. That it gives you something to think about, but it also makes you laugh. It's a reflection, or as Christopher Judge so beautifully called it, it's an inverse of society. As in, you want to tune in to check out of all the drama in our reality currently, but also you want it to invite you to make you think. And he's very big on, and I never really clocked it that well, but he really emphasizes. And when I started to see it from Tilk's point of view, I was like, yeah, what Stargate SG-1 from day one offered was hope. And especially if you look at Tilk's introduction, he was stuck in an impossible situation and he was trying to survive. But meeting the SG-1, or meeting the people from Stargate Command, because SG-1 didn't exist just yet, but meeting the people from Stargate Command gave him hope to free his people from slavery. And that just made me realize how much hope has also been a pillar of Stargate. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm slightly hopeful that this actually will be good. I was shocked though that they are going to leave Canada. They're going to record it in the UK, which on one hand, yay, closer to me. On the other hand, why not Canada? Canada has such beautiful locations to film at. But maybe we've exhausted all of them or something. I don't know. Anywho, they start filming this year. I'm really curious to learn who's going to be on it. I had a very wacky idea. Okay, if I'm right, please. Did I win something? I don't know. But I suddenly had a very weird thought where I envisioned Jensen Ackles as kind of like the new Colonel O'Neill. Because he can do the military tough guy, soldier boy, hello. But like a Dean Winchester meets the Air Force. But he can also do funny and silly and emotional. I just thought he has the depth that would be so perfect for that role. So, Amazon, if you're listening, possibly. I think he's currently filming Soldier Boy spin-off, but if he's got some downtime and interested in Stargate Universe, please. That would be like the marriage of two fandoms, which would just make me, I thought of something inappropriate. Very happy? Let's just say very happy. But anywho, I respect him very much. Sorry. I really do. I respect all the Stargate crew. And edit that out. But yeah, that was just an idea. I'm really curious who they're going to cast and how they're... Like, they say it's going to be its own thing, but it's going to have those pillars that made Stargate SG-1 great. So, I'm really curious. But anywho, that was amazing news. For a second there, I thought, oh, I need to record something. I was just neck deep in trying to go legit and trying to find out how, what, when, where, and I was trying to polish up the podcast. I was struggling a little bit with my perfectionism, as I tend to do. No, I'm not going to re-record any episodes. Even though when I started to listen back to some episodes, I was like, oh, that was maybe a little TMI. But hey, we're raw, we're authentic, right? That was the point. So there. Plus, I also saw that I kind of grew. A little. I mean, after 3 years, you'd better hope so. Well, 3 years. Is it 3 years? Or did I launch late 2023? No, I think I launched late 2022. Anyhow, we've been here for quite a while. We've recorded quite a bit. We're going to continue to record because I still very much love Stargate. I'm still having fun doing this. And the show, I still love it. I still enjoy watching. So, of course, I still enjoy talking about it. Anywho, that was a quick update to share with you my new song, to announce, surprise, that I have launched the YouTube channel where you can find these podcast episodes and where you can expect to find new episodes, as well as where you have been listening on Spotify and all that jazz. RSS.com, thank you very much for spreading the word, literally. But currently, the schedule will be in April. There will be new episodes. As we left off around episode 19, Tin Man, I am going to start recording new episodes. We were almost at the end of season 1, which was so good. I mean, I just watched There But For the Grace of God, and oh, yeah, I love it. I have so much to say about it. Good, bad, and ugly, salty, sugar, and sweet. It works, It does kind of work, doesn't it? I think it does. Anywho, there's your update. And then also the Amazon new Stargate Yay update, if you haven't already heard, which of course we will be watching. Although that kind of does mean that I have to get Prime again, because I got Prime and then I ditched Prime. I'm living on a budget, people. I mean, you can only watch one streaming service at a time, right? So guess I will be after upping my subscription again. Plus, the last season of The Boys is coming, so of course I want to see that. And Soldier Boy, although I don't know when that's gonna drop. But that's it for now. Keep your eyes and your ears peeled for some new content. But as of yet, I am relaunching the podcast. I have launched my YouTube channel where these episodes will also drop, and where it is much easier for you to drop a comment. So if you want to join me and talk Stargate, that's where you can find me. Alright, I hope to see you back here soon. Bye!